Leo, hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. Thanks so much for stopping in, tuning in. I appreciate you always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot astrology, any channeled messages, and integrate it with some Ayurvedic or holistic wellness lifestyle habits, things that can really help support any challenges, difficulties that we might be navigating through. So let's get into it. Leo, I hope you're doing well. We are in Gemini season. I do use the current astrology, but know that these messages are timeless. Whenever you find the reading, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know the drill. But we are currently in Gemini season. And Gemini, I've liked this energy because it's helping bring in a little bit more energy, vitality, momentum within the collective. We're also being told or encouraged to be patient through certain processes, the things that we're trying to build, grow, evolve in our life. We just came off of a full moon in Sagittarius, which does cater towards our expansion, our growth. But at the same time, there is this component of awareness that keeps popping up in the collective, meaning that we need to be aware of the speed as to which things are happening, right? If it's moving slower, then we got to slow down. If something's not working, then we got to take a step back and be like, okay, what's going on here? Where can I readjust? Is there an opportunity to readjust, or do I just need to wait, be patient? Sometimes that can be challenging for fire energy. And it's been a theme in the collective for a hot minute. This isn't anything new per se. Like I said, we are getting more momentum with Gemini season, and Gemini, because it is duality, it's bringing in other options, other opportunities, especially where we've been seeing resistance or things are just blocked, stuck, etc. It's helping shake things up a little bit, but it still is that value of being intentional about the choices you're making. Just because a new offer comes in and it looks perfect, we still want to vet that offer, right? We don't want to just jump in both feet, assuming that's the thing that's gonna save all. It can end up biting us in the butt, down the road. So intentionality, there is this vibe of inner conflict resolution, also where some of that patience is playing out, meaning that we need to get really clear on what we think, what we feel, what we want. So it's not disconnected, right? We can say we want something, but if we feel we don't deserve it, or if we feel like we're never going to get it, then it's going to take a super long time, right? So keeping those things in mind, I like to start off our readings with an energy cleansing just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked or limited. It's a really good time to set your own intention as well, especially if you have come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It really is a good way to personalize these collective readings. And you can totally skip ahead if this is not your vibe. I've been pretty good about keeping up with the chapters down below, and you'll still receive the good vibes. You'll still receive the blessing. I promise. Good vibes always. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. So if you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are interested in more of that realignment of self, your mind, body, soul, I do pranic energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. Because when we are aligned in self, when we're grounded in self, that's really where we're maximizing our potential, right? Happiness, fulfillment, abundance. It makes manifesting way easier, and I would totally love to help support that for you in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being, so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, Leo, your energy feels good. I'm hearing you're ready to go. You feel reinvigorated, I want to say. Maybe even coming off of a time where you were just a little bit despondent or unmotivated, uninspired, that type of vibe. And it feels like that's changing. Like, I'm hearing that, like, your surroundings are changing, your environment's changing, who and what you're dealing with. I think you're ready for a change up. Like, you're ready to get in some new vibes, new energy, what you've been dealing with. I don't know. I feel like certain things are closing out, and you do know that 100%. But now it's like, what direction are you going to go? And there might be something that you have to address before you make certain decisions. That might be something that's kind of like lingering in the background. You might even be avoiding it a little bit, sorry, is what I'm hearing. But with this Face Your Fear card, 38 breaks down to 11. And 11s are about our empowerment. It's about those times in life where we really do need to step up and, you know, just be the better version of ourselves, whatever that looks like. Oftentimes fear is an illusion, right? False evidence appearing real. And it has this value of like stirring up the anxiety. Like, I've just observed how fear can definitely feel a million times worse than when we actually go through it and just like get it over and done with. Even if it's not a fun thing, it's way better to be on the other side of things. And why I'm saying all this is because it feels like you've been procrastinating a little bit. Maybe that's where that new energy is feeling like a good distraction. You might even be connecting with some people that like are catering to that distraction. No hate at all. I totally get it, Leo. You know, we're not, it's, you know, we still have Cancer season, but like Leo season is upon us. It's in the near future. And, you know, we're hitting the months where it's good to be outside and active and communing with people. And the summer months are always, I know this is depending on where you're located, so please forgive me if it's not summer for you, but it has this vibe of just like, you know, I love it. Involving into your complexity, right? Like kind of just shedding some things of the past that weren't really authentically yours to be holding on to, carrying around. And now you're actually moving into like a good space of life. And I do feel like you're connecting with that vibe. And it does look like things are helping. You know, whatever you are connecting with, it is helping. It's helping you progress. It's putting you in a direction where you want to be. But again, there's something lingering around you. Whether or not you're dealing with it this week, we'll see. But it's something that does need to be addressed. You might not be dealing with it this week because it does, like I said, it does have this energy around it of being on the back burner. And small steps, big accomplishments is in your blocked energy. So it's hard to make steps towards that thing. Again, where some of those excuses or distractions might be coming into play. It's that value, even if you do feel busy, because I don't think that this is you like blatantly trying to avoid. I think there is some fear around this, and so you're acknowledging that. But I also feel like maybe you just feel like you don't have time in the day to accomplish whatever you're trying to do. And it's that idea that if we just dedicate 15, 20 minutes, 10 minutes to something every day, it pays off, right? It might be a small step, but then we notice big results. You might have gotten disconnected from some of that too lately. Okay, so there's a lot of emotion going on around you. Maybe you're picking this up, is what I'm hearing, picking up people's difficulties with how you're managing yourself. 4 of Wands feels like you're being very protective of your energy, but not in a defensive way. It's like you're just keeping your energy for yourself and the people who you actually want to keep it for. That might be hard for someone, something, a group of people, etc., whatever this is in your environment. Trying to provoke, just angry, like mad at you, mad at you for what you are choosing. And I'm not worried about you because you do feel like you're still maintaining your happy place, your happy space. I can understand why like facing your fear might feel a little bit overwhelming as well, because this moon card is not the nicest energy in this deck. It definitely has that component of like, maybe someone is trying to fearmonger you, refusing like, and like holding on to things. Like I'm here withholding things from you is what I'm hearing. Withholding friendship, withholding relationship, being very just mean. It just feels like this is coming from a place of a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of ego. And so they start self-protecting. And I don't know. I don't know that you're engaging with this because it feels, again, it looks like your energy is elsewhere. Or maybe you're kind of over and done with whomever, whatever this is. And like, if that's how you want to be, fine. But I'm going to go do things that are good for me, you know? Really weird energy. We have a lot of 3s on the board already, but they go from being really mad, really upset to like trying to work together. We'll see how this fares out. But like whatever this is, it looks like this is an energy of like someone trying to throw you off or is making you feel not so grounded in your own life. I feel like you have to be the one who's proactive about not engaging in the toxic behaviors. All right, we'll clarify. Let me just finish pulling on this. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. I mean, they're changing their energy around, which is nice. That's good. But it's not leaving you a lot of wiggle room, because you do have to be very strong with your boundaries. Even if this situation is able to evolve a little bit, which it does look like they're doing. I'm going to clarify this 3 of Pentacles. I'm hearing like you can't lose grip of the reins, meaning I feel like the energy that you have towards this dynamic is something you need to maintain. Well, all right, 7 of Cups, 9 of Wands, the Hierophant. Someone's having a hard time infiltrating your energy. This is someone who wants you to be blindly committed, is what I'm seeing. Feeding into whatever these emotions are, maybe like doing a dance, so to speak. Like they want you to engage in the drama. Let's see where this is coming from though. I'm going to clarify. Let's see. All right, let's clarify the Moon first. What they're so upset about. Why they're acting. Anxiety, fear, stressors. Things that aren't even pertaining to you. This is like their own stuff. Well, your response, I mean, I'm sorry to whomever, whatever this is, but I think your response to them is necessary, because it kind of just looks like either you've had to shift your focus away or put up some boundaries with someone, face the your inner truth. So what the reality is for you about a situation. Like, I feel like you've had to get really clear on what you think, what you feel about this. And that's helping you create those boundaries. It's helping you be a little bit more self-serving in a good way, in a way that like I'm honoring myself first. And it does look like even just those simple adjustments is helping this dynamic evolve, because they go from, like I said, being really upset. And maybe like I'm hearing like maybe you're not engaging when they get upset. Like it's like someone trying to pick a fight and you're just not picking it up. And then they're starting to see like, oh, maybe this is me. Maybe I'm the problem and issue. It's forcing them to reflect, go within, think about their actions, their behavior. Okay, with an analytical perspective, so King of Swords, that's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy you could be dealing with. Someone who's being a little more balanced in their approach, or understanding that like, I have to be better or else I'm not going to, like, or else Leo's not going to play with me. That's what it feels like. All right, let's look at this 3 of Coins. What makes them turn around? I mean, they're being forced to see things differently. Lots of Earth energy, someone who's very stubborn, who moves very, very slow. Also very stressed out. So just struggling to like kind of figure their own life out or accomplish certain things in their own life. It does feel a little bit like a projection onto you. Let's see why they're projecting onto you though, Leo. Like I said, I do see you having really strong boundaries, and I think those boundaries are necessary because it's helping you evolve a little bit more into whatever this like inner truth is that you've discovered or that you now understand about yourself, about the situation. Maybe something's going to come up with this face your fear where you are going to actually have to deal with it. Especially like if you haven't really been in communication with someone, or There's been some separation. You might not be expecting that communication. Okay. Well, it looks like whatever you have said in the past is, I mean, whatever you've said in the past has really hit someone close to home. And it does feel like this is some type of reality that you've brought to the forefront. Like, you know, where maybe humdrumming along and the relationship is like this, and then it hits a rough patch. You communicate some frustrations, what you think, what you feel, and it looks like someone gets very offended about that. And they're having a really hard time receiving, whether it's all, you know, we all have our perspectives, right? And we have to recognize that, yes, validate your feelings, what you think, you know, how you're perceiving, but we also have to leave room and adjustment for when it's part of our own, like our responses out of our own wounding, etc. And I'm saying that because it feels like this person, number one, is really like operating out of that, right? Like you hit some chords that maybe they haven't had to deal with in a while, or, you know, turned a blind eye to, and you're bringing things to light about, and it's hard for them. And I think you're getting some pushback. It's where some of that anger, that aggression comes into play. But again, you're not participating in it. So Page of Coins, Page of Pentacles. Oh, great. Conflicts over money, or like how things need to start up again. There's our Knight of Wands again. It's refusing to participate. It's refusing to pick up the bait that's being thrown out. And again, I think this is a lot about how the peace that you're making within yourself and the way you're evolving as a result of this. I think this is a side of you that someone hasn't seen before, and that's what's making them feel a little all over the place or really angry at you, you know? It might not even be something, a side of you that they weren't aware of, but at the same time, there is this energy of like some expectation that, I don't know if you're a punching bag or that's kind of how they're perceiving it. I don't know that they're able to get over their anger, because it does, like, it, whatever this is it's a slow process. It's a slow process. So Gemini, we're in Gemini season. Gemini is connected to Mercury. It's all about how we think, how we process through. I feel like that's a lot about like whatever this person's dealing with over here. Because again, I see you holding really strong boundaries. I see you holding really strong boundaries, but then maybe not doing much else, right? To kind of help the situation or heal the situation or move on from the situation. That's where this Gemini is really going to serve us right now, because it is that component of duality. Did I talk about that earlier? I'm not sure, but I'll just touch on it again. Where we have, I think I did, but where we have been seeing some of that resistance, you know, it's bringing in different solutions, and it is about empowering yourself. Leo energy pops out as I'm saying that. So I think you're smart enough. Like I said, I think this is obviously an evolutionary process. I think that it's not about like being further ahead than what you are. Maybe you have procrastinated. I think it's more about like dealing with the situation and not being so afraid of it. Or, you know, you might have just like set some boundaries up and then that's where it stops, but nothing's really resolved. There might be a lot of loose ends. And I feel like they're having a really hard time making peace with that, or just like understanding it, or, okay. Yeah, it's a process. It's a process for everybody. Occult knowledge, it's 20. It reminds me of the Judgment. That's what I was hearing, the Judgment in the tarot. When the Judgment is like a wake-up call, right? It's basically like, this is the truth of a situation, and now you choose whether you're going to continue down this road or if you need to move on, right? Maybe it's just not the highest and best for you or whatever. And I think that there are some things that are playing out. I'm going to pull one more on this. There's some things that are playing out that are really forcing you to face the fear, right? Face the fear of the unknown, letting things progress in their natural way, which I think that you are doing. But it's also saying, like, don't lose sight, right? Don't allow things to progress as a way to distract or not manage a situation. Like I said, because, I mean, it's not bad. It's just that you're being really picky and choosy. You're holding your boundaries. It doesn't feel like you have a lot of stability, though. Like, to me, it's like riding the waves. So no matter what comes your way, you're able to manage it, but it doesn't mean you're like in this calm space in your life. And not that life is always that way. If anything, you like a little diversity and challenge and drama and chaos, you know, which is all well and good. But we can't function on that all the time, right? That can actually just be very exhausting, not only just for your mind, but just even like the body, just in constant overdrive. We're used to it modern day, but it's like Ayurveda is like, So, all right, Leo, thank you so much for your time, energy always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonate for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I'd love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. Know that it blesses my heart, and I'm sending that love and blessings back to you.